just saw a great film called The Ticket to Heaven from 1981. And it's mandatory because we all need deprogramming. Basically, it's about a cult. It's a small indie film, somewhat made in Canada, but 1981 it came out, and there was so much good stuff coming out to prepare us for the horrors to come, but we didn't know how bad it was going to get and how applicable it was going to get to this digital big tech world that we live in, that we're roped in, like being in a massive brainwashed cult, and including the television and commercials, because of the fact that digital came in to make things so quick. But all the same narcissistic tactics that they use in these cults, like love bombing and the low-protein diet and the driving you up the wall, no sleep, isolating you from your family and friends, and controlling every move you make, controlling every second. So the thing is, here's the guy. He just ends up breaking up with his girlfriend. She doesn't want to see him, and so he's in a vulnerable position, and one of his friends forces him to go down to San Francisco area to go to this place. People are trying to tell him what to think, and he's pretty smart at the beginning, and then he loses it. He goes from this really kind of thoughtful and cynical to, at the very end, he's like totally psycho, like totally looks like psycho. And devil possessed. And here's the deprogrammer. So we all need a deprogrammer. In the end, you're going to see, like, these are the bad guys who are watching him. This is just a part of it, but it was like a group of 100 people, like Jonestown. And he had to be told, and the look of triumph finally is the fact that these people follow you everywhere, just like your technology. So finally, this is the final look on his face, where he's surrounded by his loved ones who actually had to come all the way down to California, 4,000 miles, like a group of about 8 people that loved him, cared enough for him to do this deprogramming, to kidnap him, risk going to jail, because America had just passed a law that if you tried to deprogram your family member from a cult, you could get put in jail for 14 years. So that wasn't something new that happened. So I'm flashing back. Here's Kim Cattrall, who ended up, she's one of the plants in the place, like super excited, super excited, like, and this guy's saying how he used to be an investment banker, and then this guy's like, what, really? So you've got these people all saying how much greater it is to be here within this cult. The movie's called Ticket to Heaven. You must see it, because you will see the tactics that these people use. You must have seen a documentary about the Bhagwan Rajneesh cult. But if you look and see the tactics, especially, and then you find out that these people own a lot of stuff: fishing corporations, restaurants, dry cleaners, newspapers, like they're a big corporation. Here's the guy who is a deprogrammer, and the good thing about a deprogrammer is that where are they now? I mean, like, there's no precedent for this, because this guy actually said, what did he say? The programmer had said that he was in a cult himself. But what he said was, you have to make him think. He had to shock him first, see? And he said, you have to get them to think. But to get them to think, you have to get them to talk. To get them to talk, you have to get them to be in fear, or something like that. You have to get through to them, because we are Satan to them. Like all of his ex-girlfriends, friends, family, everybody is Satan, like, because they've been chanting it. Here's his friend who pretended to come down. But the point is, it's all this vain repetition, but it's very much look at, he's clearly starving for protein, and she's like, here, you got to come, and she's forcing him to phone his mother now to say that he won't be back for at least a month. So the movie is very well done. Roger Ebert gave it 3.5 stars out of 4. That's pretty darn good for a movie that no one's ever heard of, because the tactics are bang on, and there's so much. I thought it was like narcissism or Jonestown or cults or the Moonies and all that kind of stuff. But in reality, now what it is taking a scalar jump into the computer itself and every screen that we have, because in every commercial you have unnatural things to look at, and people screaming, jumping up and down. There's moving, like all these screens that people are having to do this and touch it. Like, ew, that's gross. I don't want to be doing this. Give me push buttons. Give me push buttons again, assholes. What the hell you took my push buttons away for? I don't want to touch no slicky, slidey, creepy screen. What if somebody touched it and they had boogers on their fingers or something? Like, it's... So anyways, the whole thing, this movie is very enlightening. Right on YouTube, 1981. But you have to learn the love-bombing tactics of the narcissist, and you also have to learn... But the problem is, how the hell are we going to get deprogrammed? Because in order to get deprogrammed, you're going to have somebody to give you that tough love. Where's the tough love now? Where's love at all? Who has like 6 family members that are willing to go to the wall for you? Like through the fire. I should have put through the fire, Shaka Khan through the fire on this one, because this is what we all need. We need to be deprogrammed from this disgusting culture. Like, instead of have faster technology, this technology itself is the problem. The technology is the problem. That is the problem. Because it's not the technology even so much, it's the fucking ads that move too much, that are like these fucking freaks. And they also watch every move you make. They don't, all of a sudden you're a prisoner, and you have a cognitive dissonance, because you're like, well, I'm not really a prisoner, am I? These people are smiling at me. They're being so, they're not screaming at me or jamming things at my ass, so they're nice, don't they? They love me, and everything else is Satan. So it's this is the whole thing that I feel completely violated when I watch TV. My eyeballs hurt. Do you know anybody who can read anymore without getting dizzy? Without getting super dizzy when you read more than 4 pages? Come on. It's a cult. It's a cult. All of it.